This podcast was designed with you in mind. If you're ready to erase the norm and embrace the truth, come pull up a chair, grab a journal, and tell a friend that your favorite Jersey girl is back with another episode. So let's get into it.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of the Blemish Beauty Podcast. And I'm your host, your favorite Jersey girl, Shira Renee. And today I have the pleasure of sitting down with one of my favorite poets, okay? Big Tiff, aka Tiffany Mariie. And she obviously is a poet. And she is a ball of energy. She is a ball of fire. And she is a force to be reckoned with. So after her countdown, I'm going to bring her on the stage so we can have a conversation. Once again, this is season 4, and this is all about survivor stories. So this is your trigger warning. Each one of these episodes have been cultivated in a way to give you confirmation that you don't have to remain stuck in your situation, that there is joy on the other side. So after I bring her to the stage, we're going to have a conversation and tackle her survivor story. Hey girl.
Hey.
I'm so excited. How you doing?
I'm doing great. And how are you?
I'm doing good. Tell the people who you are, Tiffany Mariie, aka Big Tiff.
Okay, well, as she said, I am Tiffany Mariie. I am a spoken word poet based out of St. Louis, Missouri. I've traveled everywhere to do what I do, and I plan to come to a city near you.
I know that's right. So you are a spoken word poet. And I know for me, because I'm not on no big Tiff level, but I do write a little bit, right?
Okay.
And I know that a lot of the best projects that I have is fueled from some type of pain.
Yes.
So when did you start writing, and what was the premise behind you getting into your writing journey?
So I started writing when I was very young, school age, probably around like 12 or 13, when I actually was able to start to understand my feelings. Um, the whole structure behind my writing process was I was my mom's firstborn child, and being her firstborn child, the oldest, the only for a long time, it was very lonely. Um, it was very hard to have conversations with my mother. I was actually really afraid to have conversations and communicate with my mom. She was so very strict. So I really would be so nervous to talk to her. I would write letters all over the house just to ask questions, just to ask for permission to go to certain friends' houses, just to do certain things. Um, just growing up back then, my family was always these type of people, and then
Mhm,
I am this type of child or this type of
mhm.
gal. So I was always super different from them, and it wasn't shined on. It was frowned upon. And
Right.
it just kind of made me feel like an outcast and made me feel like I didn't belong. And so a lot of those feelings start to kind of build up. And in order for me to release how I was feeling, I had to write them down.
I love that you said that because, I think in our generation, especially, we have grown up into that household where you stay in a child's place. Children are supposed to be seen and not heard. And now we are in a season where we honor our children's feelings. We talk to them. We encourage counseling. So we are those parents now that's like, okay, I didn't
Yes.
have that safe space. So I'm creating that safe space for you. I'm telling you it's okay to voice your opinion. Sometimes they get a little too boisterous,
Mhm.
but I'm happy that you were able to have that outlet to write and it wasn't internalized.
Yeah.
So when you got older, did you feel like, once you were in relationships and different things like that, was it kind of like the same dynamic? Were you in situations where it wasn't a safe space for you to voice how you were feeling, so you wrote as well?
Yes. Actually, in a lot of relationships that I had, they didn't like that I was very expressive. My partners didn't. Um, they looked at it as nagging. They didn't look at it as a way of expression. They looked at it as, "Oh, you just nagging me," versus them actually interpreting my feelings and what I'm actually really saying. Because I'm not nagging you, and I'm not like come trying to come down on you, but I am trying to express to you how it is that I'm feeling. In
Right.
relationship, taking that from my childhood and carrying it with me to the current day into relationships, that's actually is somewhere where that's something I struggle with, because I've really been trying to let go of those past scars, those past just things that's holding me back from actually being great and having a successful relationship, because I've actually been struggling in the relationship department because I'm still holding on to past trauma,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been trying to release that. So in relationships now, when I do try to express myself, or I do want to just kind of get off my chest how I'm feeling, it always gets shut down. It always gets blocked out. They start, like I said, they start to feel like I'm nagging. They don't want to hear it. They just kind of shut down. And that's kind of how most men are. They shut down when they feel like they're being yelled at or attacked or anything like that. But taking accountability, maybe I could have worked on my approach. And even then, if my approach wasn't, even if my approach was a good approach, it still, you know what I'm saying, came across as if I just was finding issues to create problems. And that's not, but being in a relationship with a poet on top of someone who's just very expressive, that's just kind of what you're
Mm-hmm.
going to get from a person like me. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
tell you how we feel. You can't have a relationship without communication. And I'm one of those communicators who likes to tell my significant other how I feel, especially when it's something that I don't like. Because it's only so many times that I'm going to tell you what I don't like before I blow up. And then now you want to know why I blew up. Because I've been trying to tell you this entire time, and you've been thinking I've been nagging. So it is something that has followed me for a long time. A long
Yeah.
time.
We were doing an episode with a life coach, and he was talking about childhood traumas and, attachment styles and different wounds. And as you're telling me this story, I'm thinking about you as a child, and you're trying to express your feelings, but you can't. So you lyrically have a tantrum and you're
Mhm.
writing it down. So now it's correlating to your poetry, and you're like, okay, well, I'm just going, that's probably why you're so expressive when you have your poetry, because you're like, your personality just shows. And a lot of the times people will just read the words and they can
Mhm.
recite it, like, okay, Lorenz Tate, that's, I love him, but Love Jones is my favorite movie, right? And
Yeah,
when he was doing Brother to the Night, I mean, he had swag, but it's a difference, like when you recite your poetry, like you
for
put
sure.
everything into your poetry, so you can feel the mood that you're in when you wrote it, when you're
Mhm.
listening to it. So I love that you said that. I'm the opposite. When I was in relationships, I was very um timid. I didn't say anything,
Mhm.
because of the household that I grew up in, like you.
Mhm.
Now, after the relationship that I just left out of, that last divorce, baby, you're gonna get this nagging. I'm gonna tell
Okay.
you everything now,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
I feel like now, if you don't express it like you said, you're creating this enablement for them to continue to play in your face.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
Mhm.
let you know that this is
Yeah.
not the space to be playing
At
in
all.
nobody's face.
At all. I'm not even gonna play with you. You're gonna listen. I'm gonna tell you what it is that I feel, because there should be a safe space between us. This should be a safe space.
Hmm.
You should be able to tell me what it is that I do that you don't like, or maybe even something else that has nothing to do with each other. You should be able
Hmm.
to come to me and express yourself, just like I should be able to come to you and wholeheartedly express myself without either of us thinking that it's something negative. And in this day and time, that is a problem in a lot of relationships. The communication of the issues. A lot of people take
Mm-hmm.
it to social media. A lot of people take it to, whatever platform or whatever they have to be able to express themselves. Now, I cannot lie to you. I used to have an issue with that in my relationships, going to Facebook to express
Mm-hmm.
what it is that me and my partner was going through, or what it was that I was feeling, because not only do I not really have any friends that I trust enough to call and tell my issues to, and not only do I not have family that I trust enough to call and tell them what I have going on, and not only can I not call and talk to my significant other because he thinks I'm just nagging. So this is my only outlet. This is the
Right.
only outlet I have, and this also causes problems. So it's like, okay, I don't, what do I have? What do I do?
Right.
Like and so I honestly can say that's probably where I am now, currently in my life, when it comes to expression and being expressive. Like, yes, I still write my poetry and I do go out and perform and things like that, but I don't necessarily talk about my traumas in my poetry, if that makes sense. I talk about things that are relative, that I
Mm-hmm.
can relate to and that other people can relate to, and possibly things I've dealt with, but not necessarily my particular situation
Right.
at hand. Um, and so I express myself and I get my issues out, but I don't really talk about my issues, if that makes sense. So they're kind of still lingering. They're still just kind of there because I haven't been able to really get them out besides writing them
Right.
down on paper. And I'm getting to the point now where paper is not enough.
I know that's right.
Paper hasn't been enough in a long time. So I don't know what's next for me. Maybe a book or something. Who knows?
I was just about to say that. I said, girl, you're gonna need a book or a podcast or something. You're gonna have to release that. You're gonna have to own your
Yes.
stars, honey, because
Yes.
you can't keep that, bottled inside of you. But it's just one of those things where they say, what's for you when it's for you. And when your partner is gonna truly be for you when he creates a safe space for you to express yourself,
Hmm.
and it doesn't feel forced. It feels like, okay, I can say this and you still here, like you're not gonna run
Yeah.
away, like
Yeah.
okay, like girl, you just mad, you hungry, you want something to eat, like let's just okay, cool. Because a lot of people now, we are the most antisocial people on social media.
Mm.
Like we can be in a room with our family and our friends, everybody at the dinner table, everybody on their phone. Like
Everybody.
we not engaging anymore. We don't talk on the phone. We have Chat GPT that's going to do everything for us, have a conversation, write our papers. Nothing is authentic. And I am appreciative that you still have some authenticity when you show up in these spaces. You exude confidence.
Mm.
You don't seem like you got any issues when you be speaking, honey, because
Oh man, you'll be
the way
surprised.
you
I
tap
am a
in, man, I'll be like, look at Tiff. Like she just
I am a
um,
walking problem. I don't even know how to express what I am. I I I can, like, right now my face, I'm smiling. I'm in a
of
great
course.
mood.
Mm-hmm.
I feel good, but behind all of this, behind this disguise, I'm broken.
Yeah.
I'm fucked up. Excuse my
Mm-hmm.
language. I'm really, like, not all the way there. I'm trying to hide my postpartum so bad. Like, I've been trying to just leave it in the back and not bring it to the forefront with
Yeah.
this pregnancy, because I went through that with my last pregnancy and it was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
So the disguise that I have on, it works. People be like, "We don't even look like you're going through anything. You don't," and I don't. And I just worry, well, because I've been going through it for so many years. I've been dealing with the same stuff for years, like since I was a little girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then not having
Mm-hmm.
my mom around, not having parents and family and people that actually understand, and then trying to heal from people that you have to be around every single day.
Yes.
People that you have to sit at dinner tables with, people that you have to sit at holidays with, people that you have to love because, oh, this is who he
Put in
gave
your
you
life.
as
Yep.
family and put it, you know what I'm saying? So it's really hard to heal from these people and those issues that I'm dealing with when I have to be around those same people every single day.
Yeah, that's the worst. I just put a post about that. I said it's hard to heal from the person you still have to co-parent with.
Oh,
So it's
baby, ba- baby.
like we don't talk about that. We don't talk about, it's like everybody feels like, okay, well, you had this baby, stuff is just gonna go back to normal. Like it's not.
It's
Um, I had an episode about a time to mourn and, the grieving process, right? And you're not just grieving like if somebody dies, you're grieving a relationship. So
mm,
you're also grieving the potential of what you thought that relationship could be. You're grieving the person that you thought you had, and you find out that that's not that person. And you're grieving the person that you were,
mm,
and now you have to tap into this new normal, right? And it's like, okay, now I have to live life with this person on the opposite side, not next to me. Now I
right.
have to live life, me being a single mom with two boys. This is me. Now
Hmm.
I have to live life doing everything for myself when I'm used to having somebody that's in the house with me, not helping, but the body is there. So at least I
Yeah.
can, if I am overwhelmed, I could throw the baby at him. But like now, these new normals and navigating these new spaces, nobody talks about. So, spaces like this, platforms like what you present as far as writing, I love those spaces because we give people outlets to just escape for a minute.
And I've
So
never
who
actually wrote a poem about my baby daddy. I've never. He's my only baby daddy. My
Mhm.
first daughter was conceived through sexual assault, so she
Mhm.
doesn't have a father
Right.
that I introduce her to or bring her around or anything of that sort. My second kid's father, I wholeheartedly thought this was going to work. Let me tell you how crazy this is. I met this man on July 17, 2023. I had just got out of the hospital from fighting liver failure.
Wow.
It was my very first performance back on stage after getting out of the hospital. And I met him. He was on my card. I didn't even know he was a poet. He's not a poet, but they threw him on the card anyway, because I guess they were just trying to fill in the blanks of people who kind of left the performance or whatever.
Mhm.
Met him on July 17, 2023. I had my daughter, our daughter, July 17, 2024. A whole entire year later.
Wow.
Relationship, I really thought that this was my person. I really thought that me and him was really going to just hit it off and it was going to be great. And because everything kind of was great, but I was ignoring all those red flags because it just seemed so right at the wrong time. It was the wrong time. I had just got out of the hospital. I'm still trying to heal. I should be focusing on my health, and I'm worried about men. That
Girl.
my problem. But the whole healing from the person you have to co-parent with, I had him blocked on every social media site. I had him blocked on my cell phone. He could not call me. He could not text me. He could not reach out. I was still pregnant. I went through domestic violence for the very first time ever in my life with this man. I've never been in a domestic violence type of situation, but this time I was, and it scared me. It was only one time, but one time was one time too many, if
Yeah.
you ask me.
Mhm.
So I bet you he won't do it again. But
I know
um,
that's right.
just experiencing that with a person who you thought you were going to spend forever with, and
Mhm.
then the threats, the calling me out of my name, the degrading me, the calling my child, my 4-year-old, out of her name, saying she's going to be this whore, she's going to be just like her hoish mom, she's going to be this, she's going to be
Wow.
that, and then threatening to unalive me and your newborn baby was just mind blowing. So to me, to save my peace, because my peace is everything, and I will get rid of
Mhm.
anybody, I don't care who it is, if it's messing with my peace. I got rid of this man. Said, forget it. I'm gonna be this single parent of 2 girls. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it because my peace is everything. His mom texted me on the day. It was just so crazy how it all happened. She texted me on the day that I had the baby and said, when is the baby due? I haven't told these people anything. They didn't even know I was in the hospital.
Wow.
She's like, When's the baby due? I was like, shit. I planned on not saying nothing, like that was the plan. So I told her, I was like, baby's here. Sent her a picture of the baby, told her how much the baby weighed and everything like that. She told her son, of course, and then she begged me. She was like, please, please. I'm like, really begging you to please let him see his daughter. I've been letting him see his daughter. I've been letting him come into my home and visit his child. I've been letting him spend that quality time in my peace with his child because I don't want to take that away from my kid.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you heal from a person that you have to be around? I don't think you can. You probably can, but it's going to take another level of sanity to be
Mm-hmm.
able to do so, because every time I see him, it's a look of disgust. Why do
Mm-hmm.
I have to let you come see your kid that you barely want to be around, that
Yes.
you barely want to be a part of their life? But I
Yes.
have to, because if not, I'm looked at as the bitter baby mama, which I wouldn't give a damn about. But I'm not understanding, but I would never take that away from my kid, because I know what it's like to not have a father in my life, because my mom took that option away from me because my dad was such a toxic man. So instead of like letting me see that myself as I was growing up, she just kind of hid that away from me. And it really made me look at her a lot different, because now I don't have a relationship with neither of my parents. So it's hard, but healing from a person, healing from family, healing from a relationship, healing from anyone that you have to be around on a daily basis is very hard. I don't know how people do it. It's like a scar you're going to keep stitching up, but then popping the stitches open. It's like
Mm-hmm.
popping your sutures and having to put them back together on your own, and continuously popping them, and then having to put them together by your, like it. When does it get better? When does it start to make sense? Like,
Yeah.
when does it, with what I'm doing, when does it start to pay off? You know what I'm saying? Like the good things that I'm doing in my life, because it feels like I'm going through like a karmic, like just time right now. But it's yeah, that's all I got.
So for me, I had to um one, I went to therapy um and life coaching at the same time.
Mm,
So um the therapist really deals with the feelings, the life coach deals with the plan.
okay.
So I release the feelings to the therapist, and then I strategize with the life coach. And as I was doing that, I started to accomplish things. I
Hmm.
started to reframe my mind. I started to speak life into myself. I started to affirm myself. I started to um, become my own IV, right? So, usually, when you're in a hospital and you need fluids or whatever, they give you IV to help you stabilize yourself and do all the things. So I had to become that for myself, because like you're looking for love in all the wrong places, and you allow these people to become your IV. And when that person that you thought was going to be your IV leaves you,
Mm,
then you feel like you in ICU. So
yes.
it's like I had to become that for myself. So I had to fuel myself. I had to ground myself. I had to reprogram my mind. For me, I'm a spiritual person, so
Hmm.
I tapped into my relationship with God, found out how He views me. And as I was looking at how He views me, then I started to look at myself that way as well. So then that disgust turned into sorry, because I pity you now,
Mm,
because the favor that is on me, or the favor that you would get because you were attached to me, you no longer receive. So now I'm going to pray for you because you were praying, PREY, on
mm,
me.
mm,
So now I'm just going to help you in a capacity in which I can, but you will never get the full capacity of what you had, because that's not the same situation. So in your case, you are allowing your daughter to see her father, and that's great. So what you have to do is you have to start doing stuff that makes you feel good other than writing. You know, find you groups, maybe support groups. Um, Tap into people that you know, aka me and author Nikki Nicole. Girl, you need some friends. We gonna call you. We gonna kiki whatever you need. Okay, we got you. Um, and really create your own village, because I had a family by blood, but I needed a family by choice.
Mm,
And that was something that I didn't have. People didn't choose me.
mm,
So I found people that chose me,
mm,
and I continued to stick and stay with them. And as I was trying to fill myself up, I felt them filling me up as well. So,
mm.
those are little things that I did to help me. And then it took a while. It took two years. But I kid you not, that person that I was walking into it, I am no longer looking back at it.
Mhm,
So it
mhm,
definitely takes time. It definitely takes a village. It definitely takes work and prayer, but
mhm.
you definitely got it. I mean, you got people around you. We love you. We support you. So if you need us, we here, girl.
I appreciate that for sure. It gets hard. It does.
It does.
It really
We got
does.
to stick together, because as women, as moms, we look on these TV shows and social media, and they got housewives and basketball wives and all of these women. They so beautiful. They have money. Y'all don't have a care in the world, and y'all sitting up here arguing,
Mm,
bickering over
mm,
silly stuff. You know
mm.
how much we can accomplish together, how much we can do for the world, ministries we can create and allow people to hear our stories, and let them be overcome by our testimony. And y'all sitting here using the space that y'all was given to be negative and create negativity, like the reality TV. I love me some reality TV now. I love it. But we were given platforms for a reason.
For sure.
You were given your voice for a reason. So, the things that you've gone through is not for you, it's for somebody else. So somebody is waiting on you to tap into who you need to be so they can be free. You
Mhm.
didn't have that, but you're going to be the blueprint for somebody else. So you just continue to do what you're doing, girl,
For
because
sure, that's definitely the goal to be the
mm-hmm,
voice for just people who can't speak up for themselves. It's
mm-hmm,
been like that my whole life, and I'm now able to speak up for myself without being held back or feel like I'm losing something. So it
mm-hmm.
definitely feels good. I think all of us, everyone, even men, should be able to open their mouths and speak,
Yeah,
especially when things are bothering them. Because look at how it's making us turn out. I mean, everything, I never look at it as like I'm taking an L. I always look at something like a lesson because you're learning something from it. But it's just, it's like, okay, I'm learning these lessons, but when do I actually start to feel that change that I'm looking
yeah.
for? So it's definitely coming. I'm definitely working on it. I'm definitely working on new poetry too as well. Like I don't want to talk so much about broken relationships anymore, whether it's family relationships or anything like that. I kind of want to tap into being a voice for like awareness so that
Mm-hmm.
so people can know that they're not alone in certain things. Like I could talk about F Negroes all day and family
That's
ain't this
easy.
and family ain't that. That is easy. I can come up with those poems on the spot. You know what I'm talking about? 5, 15, 20 minutes is all I need. However, there's other things and bigger issues that we have to talk about that I should be talking about that I've experienced and I can possibly help the next person through,
Mm-hmm.
so when it comes to anything. So I definitely am working on that part of my platform, like being that voice for people. Because like you say, sometimes people need someone else to speak up for them before they can actually feel like they want to speak up for themselves. So
Yeah, definitely. And like, we were saying, we have these platforms for a reason. And it is definitely up to us to use those platforms for positivity, because we don't know where that could take, or like podcasts. A lot of the times, everybody and their mama got a podcast, but everybody and their mama don't have something valuable to say.
Exactly.
So when you put it out there, you're putting it out there in real time, but you don't know when. It's kind of like if you take a pill and you take aspirin and they tell you take 2 every 4 hours. So within that 4 hours, there's a certain amount of time that is released. You
Mhm.
know, the pill is released and within that 4 hours. So anything that we do, podcast, poetry, whatever it is that God has designed you to do, you put it out in real time. Somebody will take it when they hear it in real time, and then it'll release out into the atmosphere when somebody else needs it. It might be 2 years from now, it might be 2 months, or whatever the case may be, but you got to keep doing what you're supposed to do. So I'm excited about the new poetry that you got and the awareness and the way
Yes,
you about to switch it up. I look
I
forward to it.
am. I'm switching up everything, the whole rebrand of the brand. Everything's
I
gonna
love it.
switch. Everything. I'm excited. I really am. It's like every year when you get older, something about your life elevates. I
It
feel like
should.
as I'm stepping into my 30s, this is gonna be my rebrand.
I
So
love
this is
it.
a whole new everything, and I'm really hoping that it takes me exactly where I know I want to go with it. So
I love it. So now I want you to tell the people where they can find you, where they can support you, how they can listen to your poetry and all that good stuff. I'm gonna give you your solo now so you can do that.
okay. Well, again, my name's Tiffany Marie. You guys can find me on all social media at I am Tiffany underscore Marie. That's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. You guys can also find my poetry on YouTube. You can find it on Spotify. You can find it on Apple Music under just Tiffany Marie, and that's Marie with 2 eyes. Um, yeah, you guys can find me on pretty much any platform. Again, that is I am Tiffany underscore Marie, and I really hope to see you guys soon.
I love it. Thank you again for coming on, Tiff, and owning your scars and tapping in with me. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode and make sure you follow Tiffany Marie. That's with 2 eyes. Remember that, okay? Tiffany Marie. And as always, I want you to know that you are graced and gifted for a time such as this. You have purpose in this world and you have been created to do great and amazing things. So until next time, you guys, I'll talk to you later.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode and don't forget to leave a review. You can follow Shira on all major platforms and on YouTube at Shira Renee 510. Until next time, spread love, show grace, and shine bright.